I got a question for you. Is Terrence Crawford underrated and underappreciated? What I mean is, yeah, do we actually celebrate his achievements? And how much do we really understand and rate his skill set? Do you know what I mean? Are you getting where I'm coming from? Because for me, Terrence Crawford is one of the greatest fighters of all time. In fact, I'll go as far as saying he's in my top five. And I'm being real. Like, do people really understand what this guy has achieved? Terrence Bud Crawford, born in Nebraska. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can switch stances, great skills, great ring IQ. He can bang, he can box, he can use the jab, he can do everything. Fight in the pocket, he can do everything. The kid's got everything. Like, do people really celebrate the achievement of Terrence Crawford? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see, there's not enough hype around him. Like, he's fighting for the super welterweight title against Israel Majumov. Like, if he wins that, that will be his fourth division title. That's a great achievement. Do you know some of the greatest fighters of all time not won four titles in four divisions? Like, this would be a great achievement for Terrence Crawford. But I just feel like the guy's not celebrated. Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't really, like, look at his achievements and go, wow, like they do with other fighters. And I don't know why that is. Is it because he's a bit quiet? Like, he doesn't really talk too much. He doesn't really do too much media. Like, he's not like a Mayweather, is it? Like, if I'm comparing fighters, I'm comparing Terrence Crawford to Mayweather, who, like, when it comes to self-promotion, like, probably arguably one of the best. Put him up there with Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor. Maybe there's some other there that I forgot, but Terrence Crawford ain't doing all that, is he? He's not showing off his money. He's not showing off his cars, his jewelry. Do you know what I mean? The women that he dates and all that. He's not doing any of that, innit? He does all his talking, all the damage in the ring. Like, the guy's a savage. But I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. The hype is like, people talk more about Jake Paul than Terrence Crawford. Do you know what I mean? It's like, obviously, look, the purists, you know what I mean? The real boxing fans, the guys that study boxing, do you know what I mean? The purists, like, they know about Crawford. Do you know what I mean? They look at his skill sets, but you need a wider audience sometime in boxing, innit? You need the casuals as well to be tapping into you, to be looking towards your fights. Do you know what I mean? I feel like even this fight, the fight that's got coming up for the title, the super welterweight title, like, it's kind of gone under the radar, innit? Do you know, I've been following it. I kind of be keeping up with it, but how many people actually know about it? And how many pay-per-views are they going to sell? Do you know what I mean? Like, I really feel like Terrence Crawford is underappreciated. Like, this guy, yeah, let's not forget, a lot of people might not know this, yeah, especially people that don't really follow boxing. Like, there's only 19 fighters ever in the history of boxing that have unified a division. Like, undisputed. Won all 4, 5 belts. I don't know. Is there 4 belts or 5 belts? Whatever. However many belts there are. There's only 19 fighters in the history of boxing that have won, that have become undisputed. And 9 of them are male fighters. 10 of them are female fighters. I think Clarissa Shields, she's done it. Yeah. And with the male fighters, I think you go Bernard Hopkins, Alexander Usyk, to name a few off the top of my head, yeah. And Terrence Bud Crawford is among those fighters. Yeah, but check this out. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing that have unified all titles in 2 different divisions, in 2 different weight classes. Only 2 fighters have ever done that. And Terrence Crawford is one of them. The other one is Japan's Naoya Inoue, the bantamweight. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, do you know what I mean? Like, apologies for that. But yeah, there's only 2 fighters that have ever unified 2 weight classes, and Terrence Crawford is one of them. Like, do people even talk about that? I see people raving on about Manny Pacquiao, 8 division champion and everything, raving about him. Mayweather won a few titles and people talk big of him. Do you know what I mean? Roy Jones, but Terrence Crawford, he just goes under the radar like as if he's nothing. Even when he, like, even the fight, like, against Errol Spence, I bet a lot of people forgotten about that, but it was about a year ago. He absolutely schooled Errol Spence, who's meant to be one of the greatest fighters of this era. Who's an absolute elite fighter, who's dominated everyone that he's fought in the welterweight division. Until Terrence Bud Crawford came around and schooled him. Like, it wasn't even close. Before the fight, 50-50. During the fight, men against boy. It's like a teacher and a student. Terrence Crawford was classes above. Like, skill set wise and everything, he was way above Errol Spence. And I like Errol Spence. I rate Errol Spence. He's one of the most exciting fighters that I've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? But Terrence Crawford just schooled him on that day. Unified the welterweight division. Became undisputed champion for the second time in a second division. He unified the junior welterweight division. I just feel like people don't really celebrate that. People really need to start looking into that. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody, media, boxing fans, boxing journalists, like, we need to give this guy more respect. We need to celebrate his achievements more, because some of your greatest fighters never unified divisions. Roy Jones never unified. De La Hoya never unified. Mayweather, my favorite fighter of all time, never unified. Pacquiao never unified. Just to name a few off the top of my head. Terrence Bud Crawford has unified 2 weight divisions. Like, he's up there, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Top 10. In my opinion, he's in my top 5. I've got Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford. He's number 5. He's in there. He's in there. This guy, he can do everything in a boxing ring. Sharp jab, can fight in the back foot. Yeah. Can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He can do it all. He's a fascinating fighter. Do you know what I mean? And what separates him, because I'll compare him to Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the ring IQ and the skill set. And I watch other YouTube channels and I see people making that comparison as well. But for me, yeah, look, I love Mayweather. Like, he's the greatest for me, yeah. But what separates, like, what gives Terrence Crawford that little edge on Mayweather is, like, even at this age, yeah, because Floyd slowed down, in it. In the beginning, when he was pretty boy Floyd, he was like going for his savage, knocking people out, knocking people down, fast hands, he was letting his hands go. But as he got older, slight injuries to his hand, he kind of slowed down and became more defensive, right? That's when we really saw Mayweather come into his defensive mode, and yeah, man, he just became like a master of defense in boxing. But like Crawford, even at this age now, 36, whatever, he's still knocking guys out, man. He's got that killer instinct. Like, once he's got you hurt, he's coming for you. Like, once you're hurt by Terrence Crawford, yeah, just know it's game over. He's finishing. And he's for some savages, man. He's for some savages. Like, people, I think, look at his record and think, like, oh, no, he's not fought now. Nah, he's fought the likes of Sean Porter. Amir Khan's in there. I know people don't rate Amir Khan too much, but Amir Khan's still a world champion. Fast hands. Won an Olympic silver medal. Terrence Crawford, he also beat Errol Spence, like I said. He's beaten Gamboa, who Gamboa was an absolute killer when the time that Terrence Crawford fought him. He was a gold medalist at the Olympics. So that wasn't a joke. Like, not a lot of people expected Terrence Crawford to win that fight. But he absolutely dominated Gamboa, knocked him down like 5 times. And the referee stopped the fight. He won like by TKO or whatever, KO. Do you know what I mean? So he's had to overcome a lot. And also, like, a lot of fighters, I think, to my opinion, a lot of fighters were ducking him. They didn't want that smoke with him. Promoters were playing about TV networks, excuses, blah, blah, blah. We all know what happened. And then when he finally fought Errol Spence Jr., we saw what happened. We saw what that fight took years. Do you know what I mean? Absolute schooled him. Like, this guy is about to become a full weight division champion. Yeah, if he wins the super welterweight title against Israel Majmov, yeah, which is not gonna be easy. That Uzbek guy is a banger. Do you know what I mean? He's got 10 fights, 7 knockouts. That's not gonna be easy. Do you know what I mean? But with Terrence Crawford, yeah, he's 40 and 0, 31 fights won by knockout. Yeah, that's a KO ratio of 78%. Do you know what I mean? Again, I don't want to compare it, but if you compare him to like a Mayweather, who had 50 fights, and I think he ended on like 59% KO ratio. I go way back. One of my favorite fights, Sugar Ray Leonard. Similar record to Crawford, 40 fights. He ended on 40 fights, and I think he had about 69% KO ratio. You know, we can compare him to other fighters as well. De La Hoya and all these other guys. And Crawford is still up there. He's up there among the elite, among the best. So I think it's about time people put some respect on Crawford's name. And I understand boxing, you know, sometimes boxing is showbiz as well. It's a business. And it's how you sell yourself. Do you know what I mean? We saw the blueprint from Mayweather, how he was able to do it. Get under people's skin. And a lot of the people that went to watch the Mayweather fight, they were going to see him lose. They were paying to see him get knocked out. They didn't like him. But Bud, Terrence Crawford is he's a nice guy, and he's a likable guy. He's quiet, goes about his business under the radar, gets the job done in the ring as a savage. A lot of his opponents have had to find out the hard way. Do you know what I mean? But I still feel like if he's not going to sell himself, like, media-wise and really get out there and really brag, because he's not going to do that, I feel like it's our duty as boxing fans, do you know what I mean, to really, really sell his story. Do you know what I mean? Like, almost like showcase to the world what the achievements of Terrence Bud Crawford, what he's achieved in boxing. Do you know what I mean? Moving up all these divisions, winning all these titles, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be like one of them cases when he's retired or whatever, 20 years from now, people are like, oh yeah, remember Terrence Crawford? Yeah, what a fighter. Nah, let's do that now. Like, let's appreciate the guy's skills now. He comes from humble beginnings, tough upbringing. Like, his mom was tough on him. Do you know what I mean? I read his story. I looked at it, you know what I mean? Very moving, very inspirational story. Do you know what I mean? And I learned about how he came to switching stances. It hurt his right hand. You know, instead of staying at the gym, he thought, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm going back in the gym. Again, he decided to switch southpaw, and he had to train southpaw. And then when his right hand got better, he went back to boxing orthodox. But that's where his switching stances come from. That's why it's so hard for opponents in the ring to figure him out, because he'll be switching stances on you. He's comfortable southpaw or orthodox. Whatever you want, he's comfortable with both. Do you know what I mean? Like, I recommend go check out some of the, go check out Terrence Crawford's story, his upbringing and everything. Like, it's fascinating. It's great. What a champion he is. Do you know what I mean? That's why I made this video. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's fighting for the super welterweight title. If he wins that, four weight class division champion, and he'll have the opportunity to probably take on Canelo next. Like, that's greatness. Like, imagine he takes Canelo, depending on what weight he is, but if he takes on Canelo and he wins that, now where'd you rank him? Where would you rank Terrence Crawford if he beats Canelo? If he was to beat a Canelo. And Canelo, we all see the achievements of Canelo. Canelo, one of the greatest fighters of all time, pound for pound. Undoubtedly. There's no doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, Canelo, one of the best. Ring IQ, skill set, everything's there. He's won all the titles, all the way up to light heavy. Do you know what I mean? So that fight with him and Terrence Crawford, I don't know what weight class that would take place, because, I don't know. I don't want, Crawford pushing it too far, man, because Canelo's dangerous, and Canelo is a savage himself, and he's got great IQ. So that's a tough one, man. I don't really know, man. But if anyone can do it, it'll be Bud, innit? He's got that ring IQ, man. He's got that mindset to go out there and be great. And he ain't ducking nobody. He's not ducking anybody. So yeah, man, you let me know, guys. Let me know, like I really, let me know, innit? Even if you look at the social media and everything like that, like he's not really that big. I think he's got like, look, I know it's not about followers and likes and everything. It's about skill, but you know, these days, social media, boxing, sports, everything goes hand in hand. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I did this video. I just feel like Terrence Crawford is not that, he's not appreciated enough. I know that the purists, the real boxing fans, they check him out, they check his fights, they know his history. But I feel like on a global scale, he's not that. Do you know what I mean? Like well known. He's not that um, celebrated, if you know what I mean. Maybe in the US, but I live in Europe. I'm in the UK, so it might be different out here. It might be different in the US, but I hear about other fighters like Tank Davies and all them other fighters. They make more noise, but maybe it's just the way they live their lifestyle and how they promote themselves. Maybe Terrence Crawford has a part to play in that, in terms of self-promotion, selling his story out there. Do you know what I mean? Getting his personality out there. Maybe he has to change that, but at the end of the day, like skills pay the bills. Do you know what I mean? And he's got all the skills, he's got all the tools. Do you know what I mean? And I really hope he wins that fight, becomes a 4-weight class division champion. What an achievement! Do you know what I mean? And if he wins that and people still don't take notice, whoa. I don't know what to say, but it'll be interesting to see how that fight goes, and obviously the numbers and everything, pay-per-view and gate receipts and everything that goes hand in hand with boxing. But yeah, man, I just made these videos just as a fan, as a boxing fan, as a fan of Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? Someone who really looks at his skill sets, who appreciates, who studies his skill set and really appreciates the greatness. Do you know what I mean? Like the ring craftery, the IQ, the ring IQ, the boxing IQ that is going. I just look and I'm like, yo, this guy, like we're witnessing a great in this era, yeah, and people not really paying attention to it. Do you know what I mean? People not really paying attention to it. So yeah, man, I hope he does win the fight. I think he will win. He's got all the attribute, the skills. You know what I mean, desire, hunger. So he's probably he's most likely gonna get the victory and win his 4th title in a 4th weight class. So yeah, man. But guys, enough of me ranting and everything like that. Let me know what you think, innit? Where'd you rank Terrence Crawford? Do you know what I mean? Where'd you rank him in terms of the greatest of all time? Is he in your top 10? Is he in your top 5? Let me know. Do you know what I mean? And how do you feel? Do you feel that Terrence Crawford is underappreciated, underrated, not celebrated enough? You let me know. For me, I made this video because I feel like, the achievements, everything that he's achieved, Terrence Crawford has achieved, it should be way more celebrated. Do you know what I mean? He should be really, really up there. Do you know what I mean? He should be being talked about as one of the greatest of all time. Do you know what I mean? Because what he's achieved, a lot of fighters, a lot of your favorite fighters, a lot of some of us, the greatest fighters, have not achieved it. He's a 2-time unified champion of the world. At junior welterweight, he was unified, and at welterweight, he was unified. Do you know what I mean? Some of the greatest fighters of all time have not done that. Do you know what I mean? And he's got an opportunity to become a 4-time division champion. Do you know what I mean? So that's a lot to celebrate. Do you know what I mean? Great achievement by Bud. May he continue with all that success. Yeah, guys, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'll see you again. Until then, peace.